Here's the beauty of this. Down here, you know, I'm gonna give myself just enough. Yeah, it's like I'm nailing into metal. Well, for the love of Pete. Also, make sure you have, gotta go in the blooper reel. Hey, top of the morning to you, everybody. So we are back to this job. We are down a guy. Brandon has moved on. Sad to see him go, but we sure enjoyed having him. Best wishes, Brandon. We are back after a couple days of doing some other stuff, a bunch of runaround stuff. Anyway, look at this beautiful weather today. We're gonna be sheathing the 1012, and it's not often that we get a dance floor. That's right, and there will be some dancing on this floor. We elected, instead of running chases or rat runs, of just sheathing this. It stabilizes the top and it gives us a platform to get up there and set the piggybacks. So today we're just gonna work on sheathing up, and we laid out sheathing to be about 2 feet down from the piggyback. And that way we have a full sheet that spans that, ties it together, and then helps plane out any inconsistencies. Not that trusses ever have inconsistencies. If you know, then you know. Before we start sheathing, I'm gonna show you a steep basic detail Brian's having us do. This was just an old roll of something we had from Tamlin, so we cut it down into strips. Notice that the seams are taped, but the strips just hang over the wall, kind of like the vapor barrier or vapor retarder you see the Canadians do. Then this is gonna fold down and tape to the zip panel. So that's our air barrier, and then when you fold it up, and the drywall is installed, then that basically is your air barrier. And you can see it here on the opposite side, same thing, it's taped. So it just drapes over the wall, taped on the outside. This gets folded up, then the lid gets attached. This is all 6-foot wraparound porch. Over here, we're gonna install some drywall backing to catch the soffits. And that is what this piece is here. Nails on over the top, and then the lid can attach to the soffit or attach to the backing from underneath. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. In this video, we are going to start sheathing the backside of those trusses. We're going to show you some tips and tricks, maybe some things not to do, and we're going to cover fall protection. Let's get right into it. Oh, and this video is sponsored by Huber Engineered Woods, the makers of the zip system that we're using on the roof. Yeah. And then I'll just kind of go slow and pivot it as I need to. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'll come back and lay those out. I just kind of got to get the rhythm for getting that rope out of the way. Okay, and then I'll just take care of this sheet. All right, so let's lay some ground rules.
That wasn't bad.
I don't even know what that means. Basically what we're doing is we put our ripped row on first, and we're trying to account for that so that we end with a full row at the top. I like to put a toe board just below the seam because it maximizes my reach. Now the smart thing would be to put them on the seams because we're gonna tape the seams anyway, then we don't have to tape the holes. It just doesn't work out that well for us. The other thing I just wanna state right up front, using fall protection is super annoying, but you do get used to it, and it's worth learning how to use. Our life is a gift. It's a gift to us, our families, and like if I died, you wouldn't get this amazing content. But in all seriousness, for years, we did not use fall protection, and none of us ever fell off the roof. So it's not, we don't use it because we don't have the skill. We use it because it shows respect for the gift of life. And on social media, we're trying to set a better example. So that is why some of this video is going to be rather slow as you watch it, so that you can see what it's like to use fall protection. There are things that you get used to doing. Here we're working left to right. The hose comes from the bottom, the rope comes from above. We have 2 anchor points total. The second one we did incorrectly, and I'll show you that as well. I'll wait on the toe board. What I want to do is get the end one, and then I can go halfway up the toe board, or the sheet. All right. A couple of things I want to point out. You notice from the inside view, Kyle is the Sawyer. He's the ground guy. It's kind of a boring job at times, but it is so extremely important. He's responsible for anticipating things, getting nails, whatever the case might be. So you're going to see there's times where he's kind of bored and times where he's able to kind of stay ahead. We can only go so fast, especially getting started out on the roof. Now, if there's more than one person on the roof, the ground person has a lot more to do. So why do I say all of that? Because it's nice to trade off that responsibility so that nobody gets super bored. Quite a few of us really like to be out there sheathing, but there's those days where you just don't want to be out there sheathing, and so just take turns. It also lowers the wear and tear on the old body. All right, let me run you through our favorite fall protection system. All of these components are super anchor safety. Thought that was Dad. All of these components are super anchor safety. So let me start with the harness. This is the Deluxe 3D harness. And what I like about it, among other things, is the belt. I can attach my Badger bags very quickly right to my belt. As soon as I'm done, I can take them off and put them on the Badger belt. So that means it's not over the belt, but it's attached to the belt. Second, these padded and rolled edges, they really make a difference after all day. You're not chafing. Now, I'm going to tell on myself. This is custom. I had this raised 1 inch because much like Andy Bernard, I get some chafing. And I mean, let me tell you, it's quite painful. But no more chafing with this strap up 1 inch. Now here's how this all connects. To me, this is the magic of the system. Everything is plastic except for this carabiner, which is ultra lightweight, and it connects me to my rope grab, which is also plastic and lightweight. The rope grab has no metal parts, so when it gets dirty, it still works. If you're going uphill, you have your hand on the low or on the downhill side, and you just go up. When you go downhill, just keep your hand here. See how it just pushes. But as soon as there's a load, that knot through friction, all you climbers know this. See that? But then, look at that. Just like easy, easy, until. So super easy, doesn't get all gummed up. You don't have like rusting parts or anything like that. Now, the other part of the magic is how it is connected to my D-ring. Notice that there are no metal parts outside of the D-ring itself, but the strap folds in on itself. That makes this a super lightweight setup, and it's not banging on you all day long. Because if you're not comfortable, you're not going to wear fall protection. Let's just all be honest about that. Now, the last thing is our temporary anchor. This black part here is a chafe guard because we're wrapped around the ridge beam. It's temporary. All I have to do when I take my snap hook off, which by the way, there's the snap hook. We don't know why they call it a snap hook, because it's a hook that snaps. So once I disconnect that, I just feed this through, let it drop, or I can pull it out and throw it off the house and I can reuse it. They're inexpensive, and there's all the ratings. And I guess the last thing to mention is that this is the Deluxe Lifeline. So it's not the cheapest one, but it lasts. And for those of you that care, it does fade a little bit and doesn't look quite this bright over time. These are 2 brand new ones. We've had 50 footers for a couple of the roofs that are long. 30 foot is the way to go because you don't have just loads and loads and loads of slack that's hanging on you. Also, make sure you have, gotta go in the blooper reel. That's pretty funny. Yesterday, that's part of what I had to go over there with Brian and Greg, is sort through all of our old fall protection stuff.
Yeah.
We will repair this with zip tape. Also, the last thing, make sure that you have a knot at the bottom. Generally speaking, we are in fall restraint. Let me show you what that looks like, by the way. Here's what fall restraint looks like. Are you ready for this? I can't fall. There's nowhere to go. That's fall restraint. So if I go all the way down to the eaves, and I stop, now I can't fall. That's fall restraint. Fall arrest is where I can go over the edge and my shock absorber will break away. All this stitching is designed to break open and arrest your fall. We stay in fall restraint as much as possible. Here's the beauty of this. Down here, you know, I'm gonna give myself just enough. Now I can't fall, but as I walk on an arc, see how it pulls me away from the roof? This is probably what I'll get B-roll of. And that's why it's nice to have multiple anchor points. So to that end, there's the other anchor point. Now I could clip into that guy and get all the way to that corner. Wear comfortable work clothes, true work. These guys were inspired by arborists and climbers who sit in harnesses a good chunk of the day, and so it's all stretchy. See that? So when you're in a harness and everything wants to bind, true work. Okay, so let me show you fall restraint. I'm gonna go right down to the edge. So hand on the uphill side of my prusik knot. Okay, so if I set my rope here, what I want is to be able to hang fascia, let's say, or my eaves metal. So now I can come here, I'm in fall restraint. I cannot fall off the roof. I don't have enough rope from the rope grab. This is how it works. We don't want to go more than 15 degrees off either way. So see how that works? I'm on an arc. I automatically go uphill. But if I go too far, now I'm side loading the anchor. So what do we do in that case? Easy. We head over to another anchor. And that's this guy. So now if I need to get down to that corner, I just connect to this rope. As you can see from this clip, each of the panels is staggered, like a brick pattern. There you are, there's the camera. I'm just, whatever it is that I'm doing. So we're working left to right. Now, if this was a shallow roof and we were running around on the roof, that's also safer to set the panels in a staggered fashion, because even though we're wearing fall protection, there's so much that you have to know about fall protection. We can technically still fall between the rafters or trusses. So I'm gonna work my way left to right. We're going to use the starter piece as in, let's just say it's an 8-footer and the next one is a 4-footer. That offsets the seams. But then I can only go so far before then I would have so much rope. Sometimes we see this with the roofers that we use. Imagine they're connected at the very northwest corner, but they're working at the very southeast corner. Well, then they have a swing fall and they could fall off and hit the ground. Just, yeah, let it go. Nice. Like a rolling stone. Do you know that song? Right. I bet you we'd had a better chance than the other way. That's how we set the trusses. Oh, yeah, yeah. Hold everything to a 2-foot. Okay, let me climb down there. I gotta say, I'm pretty pleased with these keens. I'm about due for a new pair. Okay, something that literally right before I sat down to do this voiceover talking head thing is I've got a few people on Instagram that are going after me because our panels are tight and we need ply clips. So let's address that now. I like to order my material really early in the process, break the bands, depending on the time of year, keep it covered with like a loose tarp. We want to let the panels acclimate. They come out at such a low moisture content. If you measure the panels, you'll see they expand. We do the same thing with siding. Okay. So we are supposed to gap our panels on all 4 edges. On the 4-foot edge, we want an 1/8 of an inch gap. At the bottom, though, with the zip panels is they have a profile, so they can touch and still be gapped. So how's that possible? So you're going to see that some of these 4-foot panels are gapped really well. Some aren't. because we've let them acclimate, and this is like a 2-decade process for us. We've done this for a long, long, long time. Let that stuff move around. Yeah, it's called linear expansion. Like it's true of the hardwood in your floor. It's true if you use like PVC trim products. Depending on the time of year, they'll expand more or less. So like right here, you can see that panel's pretty tight, but we don't have any issues with it because they've already acclimated. I hope that makes sense. Also, you're gonna see just a lot of warts as we go. Yeah. Oh, come on. Yeah, it's like I'm nailing into metal. Yeah. Okay, real quick. Let me flip this. Yeah, these shoes are sticking quite well. Hey, there we go. I will take a toe board. Go ahead, and I'm just gonna flip it. Ow. Yeah, and if I'm just gonna lay it on my foot. Okay, notice that I am using the same 8s that are in the nailer. We used to use 16 duplex nails. Then I noticed our roofers were doing this. Well, except they were doing it with roofing. Anyway, there's another story there. They all are harnessed up, but the 8s make it much easier to pull the toe board. And then there's not so much nail sticking out. So they hold the weight. You're gonna see that as we go through. Just a couple of 8s over each joist or each rafter, truss, whatever these things are, framing member. And then when we go to pull them, as we work, we're going to work from the top down, taping the roof. I know that that's a little unconventional, but we can make it work.
Make it work.
And we can tape all those holes as we go. So, all right, dude, I have an idea. Let me hop up here real quick. Do I trust Brandon's nailing?
I have been. But that was my first thought. Yeah.
Okay. And that is how you sync up the audio. So I find myself with the drone, where the hands clap, I can see the waveforms spike on the audio. Now, I was having tons of issues with the drone because I'm an idiot. The card was full, so it kept turning off. Oh, it's very frustrating. This is like, I don't know the next time that we'll have a 10-12. But we got enough footage to be able to make it work. Let's just cut everything down to like 3-foot pieces. Okay. Come on, Timmy. You idiot. It's like the older I get, the worse I get, the worse my aim is. Okay, now this one's not going to be that fun. Let me make sure that I'm in a good spot. Working left to right. I'm trying to put the rope at my back, and then I can grab the sheet, and you'll see how this works. This is just the method. You try not to turn around, otherwise you just get your rope tied up in knots. So 2, 4, 6, 8. I just don't know if I trust this blocking. I want to.
It's pretty stout, to be honest. Like.
Is that okay?
Yeah, it didn't look like it flexed too much.
All right, yeah, hand it closer to this guy, and then I'll just pivot it.
Oh, here we go. Pivot. Pivot. Pivot.
Yeah. Perfect. And I'll let go. Oh yeah, that thing. We're getting there. Yeah. Look at that. Okay. That looked pretty good there. There is a very deliberate order to this. I want to make sure that that profiled edge doesn't accidentally, the upper sheet pop over the lower sheet, and that can happen. So that's why I'm going to go and now this time I have a pretty decent gap at the 4-foot edge. And then I want to make sure that that bottom stays flat. And you'll see a little bit later where I get one of those wrong. So there's just an order to it once you kind of get the rhythm. But like I said, we haven't done 10-12 in quite a while. So it was really fun. Old Kyle and I once did a whole house with just, I think we did no toe boards on a 10-12. This was back in 2014. And we were so proud of ourselves. It all came down to the method. Okay. Well, for the love of Pete. I just want to make sure. 2, 4, 6, 8. So it's right where my foot's at. Yeah, go ahead and shove it up and I'll just do my best. Once it pivots. This blocking you think is okay? Yeah. Oh, come on, rope. Okay, let me do this. I just got to get this rope out of the way. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Can't wait till we're back on a 512. Right? Bollocks. I think I got that seam. Nope, I got it. We got it. Boy, every nail is proud. Stupid, stupid, stupid. It was getting a little frustrating. It was like 3 trusses. I mean, honestly, it was the whole thing. It's like the Doug fir was petrified. I mean, he was probably afraid of something. But it was really like just shooting into like a tropical hardwood. It was very frustrating. I don't think we ever have to pull our hammers out quite this much. But then a little bit later in the video, you're going to see that we got it adjusted, or else we were just on, those trusses were a little softer, and then we started to overdrive. It's just a constant back and forth, but that's the life. All right, I got it. That rope's out of the way. Yep. Oh, I don't think I covered the need for ply clips or the lack of ply clips, or did I? We don't need ply clips here with this 1/2-inch panel. The red panels, Sienna panels, they come out 1/2 inch. It's like 15, 30 seconds, and 5/8, less a little. The panel's got its stiffness rating. It's like a 32/16, whatever. We're not going to get into that in a lot of detail here. It's easy to research that. What that means is that we don't have to use H-clips. The panel is stiff enough, the spacing is only 24, and the loading conditions. Like if it's strong enough to hold my 185 pounds of twisted steel and sex appeal, and then some other stuff that makes up the difference, then it can hold the snow load. So anyway, there's more to it. You might have to check where you're at locally. The reason why they originally designed it to eschew the H-clips or ply clips is because when we tape over that, ply clips have a sharp edge. So if you use the 7/16 or the green panel on the roof, you have to use ply clips. This, you almost never need to, but make sure that you check your local jurisdiction. I really like Steve Basic's answer to every question involving building science. You know what the answer to every question involving everything is? It depends. Let's toe board it. And then I'll probably put this sheet on. Check that drone too, if you don't mind. Okay, so that beep was the sound of the GoPro overheating. We knew that would happen. I shoot at 5.3K. It gets pretty hot. Second, what Kyle just read on the drone was its flight time and battery.
Okay, and I can sneak that underneath over there.
Oh, it was frustrating. I almost always have a blank card, but
not a rope. Proud nails up here too. I swear it's just like everything's Ipe. Okay. With that one, did I? There we go.
It's true that most of my non-mental strength is in my lower body, but some of it's upper body. That's not even funny. Oh man, it is just a process, but you really do learn to balance the sheets and make use. That's why I like the toe board. I know that most of you don't need toe boards.
All right, everybody, let's give away some Keen Utility work shoes. These are a skate-inspired work shoe with the carbon fiber toe. I'm on a 10-12. Yes, I'm safe. But as you can see, they're gripping quite well. So make sure that you read all of the rules and the details below so that you could win a pair of Keen Utility shoes of your choice. By the way, you don't have to win these. You can win whichever ones you want. And that, so which, okay, that side goes this way?
Yeah,
okay.
that side's out. I can push it.
All right.
Well, you can, at least that drone is still flying, recording nothing. Yeah, we figured it out. I'll show you that in a minute. But you know, I wish I could figure out how to do a whole video on this whole content creation thing. It is mind-numbingly tedious at times. SD cards, formatting, lenses, ND filters, audio, drones, Osmos, GoPros.
shot angles, all of this stuff, not to mention all of the editing. It's insane. And I don't know if you knew this. I do all of it. I'm even my own HR department. So sometimes when I get really frustrated, I have to write myself up. But in all seriousness, this is not as easy as it looks. The people that do it the very best are the Perkins brothers. Eric has got it dialed in. They shoot everything with iPhones. They just do a fantastic job. Hey, Eric, are you guys hiring? I know a couple guys that would move to North Carolina and work with you. Oh, and you notice that we are tied off to a single truss? That is totally incorrect. I didn't catch it at the time. Kyle didn't know better. That should have been in our fall protection plan. We didn't have another one of the safety bars, so do not imitate that. Shame on us. There's other ways that we could have done this, but you don't want to tie off to just one truss. At least we're in fall restraint. There's a couple times you can see if you got eagle eyes that I even had too much rope. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching the video. Hey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, and then send it to everybody that you know. Okay, so YouTube is offering something new. It's like an affiliate shopping thing. So what you're gonna see is I'm gonna tag products that we use. You can click on those, you can buy them. It's all gonna take you to Acme, most likely. And that's where I have the whole list of my tools. Because it's an affiliate thing, if you buy, I get a small percentage of that. That's how I support the channel. Of course, feel no obligation to do that, but I did want to explain that if you click the little shopping thing or the products as they pop up, that's how that all works. So let's get back to the video. And speaking of, that is the Max HN90F high pressure coil framing nailer. So in Japan, they don't use powder actuated tools, and so Max has the system where it's such high pressure that they can shoot into concrete or steel. This nailer is lighter than your stick nailer, but it has like 8 times the capacity. It is an outstanding tool, just saying.
Let me get over
Been
here.
using them since 2008.
Yeah, if you rotate it the other way, then I can flip it. I can come right past this side, yeah. Then I can set it on my foot. Yeah, perfect, thank you. Is that drone still recording?
Yeah, right. Think so.
All right. Gotta get hot. Okay, give me 1 sec. Come on. Hold on, hold on. All right, I got it. I was just holding onto the board. I gotta get rid of this rope. All right. I don't like the slings on this kind of stuff.
I know, I thought about wrapping it to the couch. I didn't know if you had enough
All right, we are just rocking and rolling and having fun. 10-12, got an anchor point over there, one here, and then chicken strips, just to make it easier to climb around. Let me zoom in on that guy. That is like, I forget, the truss bar, I don't remember, but I'll put a link to it. It's a temporary anchor, and I'm not gonna quote anything about it because I haven't read the product literature for a while, but I think you can hold 2 people off of it. So, zoom out. So we usually will split into thirds, and that way you don't have to worry about swing fall. I think for now,
This is the cut side.
I'm just gonna get it up here.
Yeah, so, yeah, flip it the way you're doing it. That's the cut side?
Yeah, that's the cut side.
Okay. Can you go straight up with it? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I got it. Hey, that wasn't bad. All right, let me blast this. And we might as well wait on this guy, eh? All right. Can I hand you this gun, Kyle? I'm just curious, how am I getting down?
Can you make it to the very top?
Yeah, that'll work. And I'll just put that inside where I can detach it. Well, that really wasn't that bad.
Oh, no, that wasn't. It's actually my part of it.
I know, it's nice to be able to trade off. I want to get some footage real quick of that.
Alright, so pretty good at shooting center in those holes. I'll just bud them off from the outside.
Yeah, very nice. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. I'm just going to close with just a couple more things. This, I'm trying my best to just gang cut
Turn
things,
that
right?
off. Just
That
kinda
DeWalt
get
saw is
organized
very
here.
powerful. This is the skate plate ripping guide. This was a little bit more than I think it's really good for. What am I ripping there? 4 sheets of the 1/2 inch. It wasn't too hard on the saw, but it is hard to keep those cuts straight. I don't really care. It's good enough because I'm going to put the factory on the uphill side. Anyway, you can check it out. I'm going to have links to all of this stuff. There's the Acme link down below in the description, but I'll try to put these products throughout the video. So anyway, we'll see you in the next video. Hit that like and subscribe button and do the thumbs up and the little bell notification. And I will love you forever. Cut it, right? It would be awesome. Wasn't that Mission Impossible 2? Where he goes running and he has the rope and he jumps out?
Oh, yeah. Why don't you do that?
Nah, man, nah. Yeah, because when I go down, I'm gonna show the how the ladder's attached. And I think, are we the legal 3 feet?
Yeah, that's definitely 3 feet.
I didn't know this morning.
Is it
3'2".
3'2"?
Yeah.
Nice. You could do that at the end if you want. Like, it's legal.
So here's what I'm gonna do. Are you already filming?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna climb the ladder and then I'll come up toward you. I really should pee. I have to go like. All right, so let's go over some basic fall protection, and I want to show you guys my favorite setup. First of all, I'm wearing the deluxe 3D harness from Super Anchor Safety. Actually, let's come in, Noah. A couple things I want to show. One, I mounted my why did I almost say they're badgers, man. And just if you don't, are you far enough back that if I crop vertical? Ooh,
Yeah, that's why I'm looking at it.
Okay,
So
I try.
I'm trying to like picture a little TikTok thing as well.
I want to make sure that there's nothing later that's going to be
It's for TikTok, right? For the little.
vertical for TikTok
Okay, yeah.
and Reels. Although this, I think I'll just make a YouTube video out of this.
But I'll still think about it.
Okay, so let me run you through the basics of this fall protection system, because this is by far my favorite after all these years. So everything here is Super Anchor Safety, and yes, we paid for all of it. This is the deluxe 3D harness in ultra high vis, because people might as well see us while we're up here, right? It's padded. Now I had them make a custom adjustment because I get some chafing, like Andy Bernard. So 1 inch up, and now I don't have any chafing anymore. Here's how it all connects. It is a prusik knot. You can tell this is a new rope. It's a 30-foot rope, so there's a whole lot less weight hanging on your back, you know, as it hangs over the. I always get to me too much. I need to learn how to slow down because I know I get on a roll. Okay, we'll just do that again.
You do very good at like one taking it though, and not like having to.
Yeah, it's. I get psyched out when it's YouTube. Oh, I still got to do the GRK giveaway.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'll do that before I leave. Yeah, that's okay. So you're here at the top. I'm just gonna come walking toward this, and I'll do it again. Because I'll show how the prusik knot works when we. I might have you follow me around, like closer.
Oh yeah, I will.
Because I love this thing.